morning, students of class 12th Economics. Welcome to Pandasar's virtual class on development economics. Today, our topic of discussion is the positive impact of British rule on the Indian economy. The positive impact of British rule on Indian economy. In our past two classes, we have already discussed what was the condition of Indian economy before the advent of the British people and what was the condition of Indian economy during the British rule. And in this phase, that is during the British rule, we mainly discussed the negative impact of British rule, that how India suffered, how the British exploited India socially, politically and economically. But despite all the negativity, we find some positive aspect of the British rule on the Indian people economically, socially and politically. So, what was the positive impact of British rule? Point by point we will discuss them. The first point is commercialization of agriculture. Commercialization of agriculture. And just remember, yesterday only we discussed about this point, commercialization of agriculture, and in that we discussed that it actually did harm to the Indian farmers. Means, in what way it harmed the Indian economy and Indian farmers? Because the self-sufficient Indian economy now became dependent on many goods whose productions were stopped because the farmers resorted to the production of cash crop or only one type of crop. And obviously, economically they became better off. How? Because cash crops, previously what happened, actually the Indian farmers used to cultivate almost everything in small patches of land in their holding, total holding, whatever they required. For example, they produced rice, they produced wheat, they produced sugarcane, they produced vegetable, and in that way they were self-sufficient in the production of food that they mainly required. But now, because they resorted to commercialization of agriculture, then what exactly happened? They started producing only one thing, and no doubt that the production of cash crop made them economically better off. Their level of profit rose, and that is one of the positive impact of commercialization of agriculture. And when they produced more than their requirement, suppose a farmer produced a cotton in his entire holding, then of course he would not need all that cotton that he is producing, and he would sell a major part of his produce. And because the transportation facility improved, that's why he found no problem in transporting his product to remote places where it can sell it. That's why commercialization is one of the positive impact of British rule during in India. And the second point is checking famine. Just you might be knowing the famous economist, the Nobel laureate, Sir Amartya Sen. Amartya Sen, a man from Kolkata, he received a Nobel Prize in economics. So his paper was, his research work was based on actually famine and how to check it. So what is famine? Famine, it is shortage of food grain due to acute shortage of water or rainfall. Such a condition is called famine, and it results in death of millions of people when there is famine, like the famous famine of Bengal during the 30s. So, how famine can be checked? according to Professor Amartya Sen, that famine is not necessarily a result of a shortage of food grain. That means, suppose a part of Kerala is facing famine, then in another part of India there might be surplus of food grain, and because we don't have a developed transportation system, that's why we could not supply food from where it is abundantly it is there to the place where actually people are dying out of hunger due to famine. So in this way, famine could be checked in British period, during British period, because they developed the transportation facility. And now it became easier after, especially after the introduction of railways in India, it became quite easy to supply food grains or heavy materials from one corner of India to another corner of India. That's how it controlled famine. And you know, it was a common thing in India before the British came to India. Then the third point is development of transportation and communication. Of course, we agree that the British people developed the mode of transportation and communication not for the benefit of Indian people or Indian economy. In fact, it was their own requirement. They needed to transport quickly and easily and cheaply things from one corner of every part of India to the seaports, so that the raw materials could be supplied to Britain for processing, and after processing they made the finished product and again they brought it to India through sea route, and they supplied it to every part of India for selling. So it was their requirement, but indirectly the Indian economy also was benefited when the mode of transportation and communication were improved. So you know, the postal stamp was first introduced in the year 1852, and telegraph was introduced in the year 1853. And almost this revolutionized the mode of communication in India. Then the next point is developing the monetary system. This is one final point, you need to understand it. So before the British came to India, what was the setup of India, layout of India? That India was being ruled by thousands and thousands of kings having small kingdoms, and they have their own monetary system, and no money or no currency or no coin of two different kingdoms were alike. That's why it created a payment crisis or problem in transaction. But when the British came, they introduced same type of coin or money throughout India, in the whole India, and now it became convenient. Easily one person from Kerala could make transaction with another person from say Kolkata or say Mumbai. And because why there is no problem? Because there is uniformity in money. That's how they revolutionized the monetary system in India. So these are the things, these are the positive points of British rule in India. So here we have already discussed now that the condition of Indian economy before the British, during the British, and the positive impact of British rule in India. So henceforth, you know that in the year 1947, India got its freedom from the clutch of British people, and it became a sovereign country. So now it became the responsibility of the people of India to plan for their development and growth. That's how the government of India needed a plan making organization or authority or body to make suitable plans for India, so that the country can be easily go ahead in the route of development and growth. So that's why the first Planning Commission of India was established in the year 1950 under the chairmanship of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. And what is the job of the Planning Commission and what at all is a Planning Commission? Planning Commission is a group of people, in fact is a group of experts, economic experts, and they under the leadership of the Chief Planning Commissioner, they study, they collect data, they study the condition of Indian economy, and they plan and devise different measures so that India can develop in the coming years. So this is enough for today. Tomorrow we will be discussing the various plans since 1950 and how it affected the Indian economy. Thank you and have a nice day.